Hi viewers, welcome back again to the fundamental concepts at ease. So today we will continue the previous topic, vectors and scalars. So if you have any doubts in the previous videos, you can keep posting so that I can clarify whatever you require. So please subscribe to this video channel whoever is intending to understand the fundamental concepts, especially for class 11 and 12 students. So now we go ahead with the next concept in vectors and scalars. Okay, let's jump to that point. The next topic is in vectors and scalars. This is a continuation of the previous topic, and this is now we deal with resolution of vectors, or sometimes it is called as components of vector. So in this class we will learn about what you mean by resolution of vectors. So first we know in your previous 10th standard we have learned about Pythagoras theorem. What do you call a Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem tells in a right angle triangle the square and the hypotenuse equal to the sum of the squares on the adjacent sides. So that is what, suppose if there is a right angle triangle, I mean ABCD, ABC, okay, sorry, this is C, and suppose this is A and this is B and this is C. That means, sorry, this is the reverse I wrote here, sorry, and this is A and this is C. Okay, this is equal to, so A square is equal to B square plus C square. So this is what you are saying in your Pythagoras theorem. So what we can tell is, so here in Pythagoras, as per Pythagoras theorem, see, this suppose this is a right angle triangle. Okay, so what it tells is the square on hypotenuse. Assume this is a square. The third side is okay, 3, and squares on other side. We complete this square. So this is what pictorial division of this Pythagoras theorem. So if this side is A and this is B and this is C, and this area is pi square and this is C square and this is A square. That means as per Pythagoras theorem, A square is equal to B square plus C square. That means the single line or single value is being divided into two parts. That means divided into two components, that is B and C. That means we can write A square in the terms of two items, B square plus C square. So these are called components. When you are saying when a single value is being divided into two parts, it is called resolution, or also called as components of A and B. So as per Pythagoras theorem, A square is equal, so when you are writing suppose 5 square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square. That means there is no you can simply write 3 square plus 4 square is also equal to square. That means these two are components of 5. So similarly in vectors also the similar concept is there. So when you write a vector in two components, we can write into mutually perpendicular axis. So we will go there. So when you talk about vector resolution, so let's take first a Cartesian plane, Cartesian coordinates, x, y, this is x and this is y, and there is one vector in this direction, this is A. Okay, this is some other point, some you can call x or y, or some value you can give like 3 or 4. Okay, this is a point here, A. Okay, to understand the vector components, see, we draw a line here, and this is equal to 3 and this is equal to 4, right? So this is a, suppose you want to travel from point 0 to point A. So the direct path is 0 to A. So if at all there is a obstruction in this path, so what path will take? You can go via O to B. So this is a B, and B, that means you will travel 3 units in this direction, and next after starting and reaching B, you will turn 90 degrees towards your left. Okay, 90 degrees. Then you move along B, AB, and for 4 units. So finally you are reaching B. That means for reaching OA, you can travel directly through OA, or also like from OB plus AB. That means you are dividing the vector into 2 parts here, that in mutually 2 perpendicular directions. That is OB is one direction, AB is one direction. That 3 and 4. So both are, see, like this and like this. These 2 are perpendicular to each other. So when you are dividing this vector A into mutually 2 directions, that you can call it A or small b. So this is called a resolution of these 2 vectors. Okay. So now we can tell like this. See, so vector A, now what your travel x direction is equal to magnitude is A 3 units, and in y direction AY is 4 units. So in this way, vector A is divided into AX into direction of x, and AY into its unit vector. So unit vector in x direction is I, and in the j direction it is, in y direction it is j. So even though you multiply, because even though vector you are multiplying here, as unit vector is 1, this value won't. AX is a magnitude here, and 4 is magnitude in j direction. So in this way, a vector can be represented in, this is called resolution. This is unit vector, and this is magnitude of this vector in the x direction. Similarly, this is the magnitude of the vector in j direction, that means in y direction. So when you can expand this to other term also, AZ into k, if you are having 3 directions. Okay, finally if we are in a 2D coordinate system, we can write a vector A as AX into I plus AY into j. Suppose you wanted in 3D coordinate system, that is A bar will be AXI plus AY into j plus AZ into k. These are all unit vectors. So this is how we can resolve a vector into its components. In order to understand you further, I can still explain this into in this fashion also. See, suppose this is the coordinate system x and y. Okay, now this is the vector A. Okay, suppose you are imagining some light here, some light bulb. Okay, there is a light is coming like this. Okay, so the projection or shadow of this is this one. So when you are seeing from top, this fellow will fall a shadow here. Okay, this is what xy on in the x direction. This is perpendicular, and this is perpendicular parallel to y direction, the rays are. So when you are parallel here, this shadow is. Suppose similarly, when you are seeing here light in this direction, when you are keeping light in this direction, this fellow will fall a shadow here, and this is AY, and these two are called as components or resolution of this vector, components of this vector. Similarly, in x-axis AX and y-axis it is AY. So if this fellow is making some theta, so then AX will be what? How much? We can say cos theta is equal to hypotenuse AY, A by AX, right? So AX is equal to A bar is equal to A cos theta. Similarly, AY is equal to A into sin theta. Right. So I think you understand this topic here. So here we are seeing that the vector A is making angle theta here. So we got the components in the terms of theta. So I want to explain again for sin theta also. Sin theta, sorry. As you have seen this, here we are projecting a light in y direction so that we get the shadow of this vector on x. So this is the shadow of A on x, is called AX. This is the magnitude. Similarly, when you are projecting light from this side, this falls a shadow on y axis. So this is y. So if this vector is making an angle of theta with respect to x axis, so we have to find what is AX. Similarly, so here on this cos theta is equal to adjacent side is AX and divided by A, vector A. Okay. Similarly, sin theta is equal to AY by magnitude A. So from this we can say AX is equal to A magnitude cos theta, and similarly AY is equal to A magnitude sin theta. So that means we are dividing this vector A into two mutually perpendicular components. So these are called, so this is how A is resolved into two components. Suppose you want to know the direction of this vector A with respect to angle tan theta is equal to, then this is AY and AY by tan theta, AY by AX. This is how we will make. So if you want the magnitude, how we will find magnitude? So now A is equal to A magnitude is equal to AX whole square plus AY square. So this is as per Pythagoras, and this makes, so this is how the magnitude of this is how these are the components of the vector A resolved, because this is a Pythagoras theorem we are using here. Magnitude A here is equal to AY square plus AX square. Suppose you want to write in this unit vector formation, so again we will write it like this. Suppose this is a vector coordinates axis A, xy, and this is the vector as A. So you are forming here, this is AX, right? And this direction, in this direction it is I, this is vector I. Similarly, the AY is the magnitude of this, and this direction J is the unit vector. So this A is now represented as AX into I plus AY into J. This is the vector. So this is how we are representing in 2D format. Suppose we have one more we'll see two vectors, how we can write. So A, and when you see these two, A, X and Y. Suppose we have a vector A like this. Okay. And this is making some angle. And there is vector B here. Okay. And how we will write? So how we will write? We have to make these two vectors as, we join these two vectors here, A and B. Okay. So this is a third vector C. Okay. So in this diagram you see that OA is representing vector A and AB is represented by vector B, and if two vector, and this is the third side which is the resultant vector C. So how we will know this resultant vector, how we will resolve? So we can write this resultant vector C is equal to Cx into I direction, X direction, and Cy into J direction. So this is how we are writing. So if we are projecting like this, so this is Cx, and similarly if we are projecting this one, this vector, this is Cy. So this is how we are writing. But what is Cx and what is Cy? So Cx is again is equal to the sum of this A and B, that can be like Ax plus Bx into Y, plus similarly Cy is equal to Ayy plus By into J. This is how. So we will write it down here. So now we will resolve this A, only A. This is a vector A. Okay, now this is one. This is what? This y direction, it is AY, and this is AX, right? Similarly for this vector, what we are seeing, see, we are resolving like this. So which is parallel to X is BX, and this is BY. So this total is CY, right? And this from here to here and here, this is CX. So this is how it was done. Resolved. So finally we can write it like so. C also can be written as a vector AX plus BX to I plus AY plus BY into J. So this is how it is done. So if you want the magnitude of this, again it is equal to magnitude C is equal to root of Cx square plus, so here Cx square plus Cy square, and similarly theta, whatever this fellow is making, angle theta, tan theta is equal to in what, Cy by Cx. Okay, now we are doing a problem based on this resolution or components of vectors. So there is a problem is, if two unit vectors A is equal to 6i plus j and B is equal to minus 2i 8j, what is the magnitude of the direction of the resultant vector? So here we are having two vectors. Suppose this is the coordinate plane. Imagine this is the coordinate plane x and y. So A is representing these two vectors. Suppose this is A, okay, this is A vector, and there is one more. Assume that there is, it is starting a vector like this. Vector B. Okay. Now, so the resultant can be like this. It can be this way. This is the resultant. So if this fellow is making some angle, so we have to find this one and this one. What is this and what is this? So now here we got A is equal to 6i plus 1j. Another vector is B is equal to minus 2i plus 8j. So these are given in component format, that is AX into I plus AY into J. A is equal to, and similarly B here is equal to BX is given into this format it was given. So if you are writing, see, this is AY and this is AX. Similarly for this vector B, this is BX and this is BY. Okay, and again in the diagram I am not able to draw it properly, so it meets here. Okay. So it means from this we can infer this are equal to this, and this is equal to this, and A is equal to BY. So we can write AX is equal to 6 and AY is equal to 1. Similarly BX is equal to minus 2 and BY is equal to plus 8. Right? So we have to find what is the C. C is the resultant of this. Is equal to root of, as you know, Cx square plus Cy square, as you found in the previous slide. Here it is equal to Cx is again, see, we have to come back. Cx is equal to Ax plus Bx, right? As I shown in the previous, see, Ax in the direction of I is 2. So here it is equal to 6 plus minus 2, that is equal to 4. Similarly Cy is equal to A and AY plus BY in direction of J, this one. This is AY plus BY. AY is equal to 1 plus 8, that is equal to 9. So here we just substitute here 4 square plus 9 square, that is equal to 16 plus 81. How much it is? It is around 97, root 97. So this is around 9.81 something. Okay, this is the magnitude. And if you want to find now if you want to find the direction of this theta, so tan theta is equal to cy by cx. So cy we know as 9 by 4. So this theta will be equivalent to something related tan inverse of 9 by 4. That is equal to around 66 degrees. Okay, this is how we will find magnitude and direction of a given in format of components. So next we will do one more problem related to this components of vector and how we represent in component format. So if the vector A is magnitude is having 10 units and is making an angle with x-axis in the first quadrant, represent this vector in the component format or components of vector. So we see components, if you draw there, you draw here components. This is the quadrants. This is, this is quadrant 1 and this quadrant 2, 4, 3, 4. In this quadrant, a vector A is making an angle of 45 degrees here, and this fellow is given magnitude of this as 10. So now we have to find what are the components. How we will write this one, AX and AY. Okay, so AX represents the I direction and AY represents J direction. So we can write, suppose this is making an angle of 45. What is AX here? AX is equal to how much? So we have to resolve, cos theta, cos 45. You just see cos 45 here is equal to BA x by A magnitude, AX by adjacent side by hypotenuse. So from here you can get AX, that is A magnitude cos 45 degrees is AX. Similarly AY is A magnitude sin 45. So here we know both AX is equal to some value and AY is equal to some value. So AX is equal to what? A to cos the 45, that is equal to A is 10, cos 45 is root 1 by 2, right? 10 into sin 45, it is 10 into root 1 by 2. Okay, what happens? AX is equal to 10 by root 2 and AY is equal to 10 by root 2 from this. So in the format of vector is equal to AX into I plus AY into J. So this turns out to be 10 by root 2 into I plus 10 by root 2 to J. So this is how we represent the components if we are given magnitude and angle of the vector given. Okay. So next we have next problem. If A is equal to this much and B is equal to this much, we have to find what is the magnitude and direction of A plus B. So if A plus B is equal to how much? So how we will find? So magnitude of A plus B will be written as A plus B. This is the x direction I and A plus B in y direction is J, right? This is vector A plus B. So how do you know this? A plus B is what? We have given A is given as AX plus I plus B, AY J. So that is given as 3I plus 4J. Similarly B is given as BXI plus BY j, that is given as 2i plus 3j, right? This 2 will make, this is x, right? And this is, so what you are saying is this is ax plus bx into I direction plus ay plus by in j direction. So this 2 and this 2, that means what? Ax is equal to here 3, ay is equal to 4 here. Similarly bx is equal to 2 and by is equal to 3. So in this we substitute ax is 3 plus 2i plus 4 plus 3j, that is equal to 5i plus 7j, right? So magnitude is 5 square plus 7 square root. This is the magnitude of sum, that is equal to root 74. We want to find direction of this one. Tan theta is how much? This by this direction, by suppose this is sum, right? This a plus b in y direction by a plus b in this direction, that is equal to 7 by 5. So that's all. This is how we will find magnitude and direction if we are given components of vector. So here we find next problem. In this problem we see vector A has a magnitude 11 meters per second square and angle is making 65 degrees with positive axis. Similarly with vector B is making as a Cartesian as vector B is given in Cartesian format as bx and by, and but A is given only magnitude. There is no components for A. So vector C is equal to resulting A plus B. Find components of C. Okay, we will also do this. So here the given vector A is equal to 11 meters per second and it is making an angle of 65 degrees, right? These are the given values. And next for B vector he has given as components. Bx is equal to some 4 meters per second square and by is given as minus 3 meters per second square, and vector C is the resultant, that is equal to A plus B is saying, right? So these are the given values. So we have to find components of Cx and Cy and magnitude of C. Okay, these are the what we have to find. These are the given values for vector. Okay, first in this problem we have to find, see it's given the components of B, bx and by. So similarly we will find what are the components of A. So it is given like this. There is a Cartesian system x and this is y and this is given A, it's some angle. So A is making 65 degrees. So this is A and A is given magnitude for A 11. So we have to find what are the components. This is Ax and this will be Ay, right? And Ax is equal to magnitude A into cos theta because this is adjacent angle. Similarly Ay is equal to into sin theta. So this is opposite always will be sin. So we know 11 into cos 65. Similarly here 11 into sin 65. So Ax will be equal to 4.65 and Ay is equal to 9.97 to the approximately, okay, meters per second square. This is the acceleration actually. So now we know what is C. C is equal to Cxi components format and Cyj, right? and again C is again the sub-component. It is written as C is equal to A plus B. So Cx will be like Ax plus Bx, direction of I. Similarly, Cy will be Ay plus By, direction of J. So this is how we will write. This Cx is equal to this much and Cy is equal to this one. So Ax plus Cy is, Ax is this 4.465. So Ax plus Ay Bx is equal to 4 plus, sorry, so here the Cx will be equal to Ax plus Bx, that is equal to 8.65. We are writing down Cy is equal to Ay plus By, this one. So this is 6.97. This is minus, so we are reducing it. So the magnitude of C will be Cx square plus Cy square root. So this turns out to be 11.1. Suppose you want to find that is the angle this fellow is making, a resultant is making. It is simply tan theta. If theta is the resultant angle, Cy by Cx, that is equal to 6.97 divided by 8.65. So if we are making this, we will get around 38.8 degrees. This is the theta value. So this is how we will solve this kind of. So this is how we solve this problem. So we found, see the given in this we given things are, we will see just one more time. So vector A is given as 11, which is a magnitude, and this is making an angle 65. So first we find the resolutions, components of this vector like Ax and Ay. So from this formula we will get what is this vectors here. So result Ax Ay found from this formula plus sin theta cos theta. So and he has given the question is Bx and By. So when the Ax, Ay, Bx, By is known, so the result will be like C is equal to Cx into I into Cx to Y. So Cx is again Bx plus Bx, and this is Cy By. So from here we will find resultant and also the angle. This is how it is done. So next we will try for one more problem. This is also based on this components of vectors. So in the problem I have seen that there are two vectors A and B, where A is given as components x and y, 3i plus 4j and 7i plus 24j. So what is asking is to find a vector which is having a b magnitude and parallel to this a vector. So given for us, given quantities are two vectors A. This is 3i plus 4j, right? And B is 7i plus 24j. So the magnitude of B will be 7 square plus 24 square, right, under root. So this is equal to 49 plus some this is 16 1. This is around so this is around 576. So it is 625 root, which is equal to 25. So the magnitude of B will be 25. So now we have to find a vector which is parallel to A. Generally parallel to A means, see, if you found see, this is a coordinate axis y, and see, I vector will be parallel to x axis. Similarly j vector will be parallel to y axis. So for suppose you want to find I vector, it is equivalent to its own vector in the direction I divided by modulus of I. This is how we find. So this vector is parallel in the direction of x axis. Similarly, to find a parallel vector to A, you have to find a unit vector in the direction of A. That is, unit vector in the direction of A will be A vector divided by modulus of vector, that is 3i divided by 4j divided by 3 square plus 4 square is the magnitude, that is 3i plus 4ij. This is equal to 9 plus 16 25, that is 5, that is 1 by 5. So this is the unit vector in the direction of, unit vector in the direction of A is equal to 1/5 to 3i plus 4j. So if you want a vector in the direction of, if you want now to find a vector in the direction with magnitude b and c, so let us call that vector as required vector. Our required vector as c with magnitude b and the direction of A, of unit vector A. That is equal to C is equal to P into unit vector A, that is equal to 25 into 1/5 of 3i plus 4j, that is equal to, because this is 5 into 3 15i plus 20j. So this is your rectangle vector. Okay. The next topic is vector operations. In vector operation, we will deal with scalar multiplication, or also called as dot product. So actually we have two types of these operations. One is called as dot product, other is called as cross product. First we will talk about the dot product. See, when there are two vectors A and B acting on an object with an angle between them, or called theta, the resultant will be in one of the directions of the vector. So that means if there are two vectors with an angle between them, and the resultant of these two vectors will be in the direction of any of these two vectors already there, so then we will do the operation called dot product. A dot B, whatever is called, is equal to A magnitude B magnitude cos theta. So I will describe you here how we will go here. So here we will talk about vector operations, what is called a dot product, or also called as scalar multiplication. So here there are two vectors A and B with an angle theta. So this vector, when this projected onto this vector A, this is equivalent to, so you can call this as by, as you know, and this is bx, right? So bx is equal to magnitude b into cos theta, because when you are, these are the components of b, this bx is equal to cos theta of this magnitude. So this magnitude vector, so these two vectors here is in direction of A and B. This is A and this is bx. So dot product comes into picture when A dot B is equal to, so when this vector is projected onto this vector A, the resultant vector will be in the direction of A, that is b cos theta into A. So that's why, so the angle between these two vectors will be generally 0 between these two vectors. I am saying whatever bx cos theta and A, but when you are deliberately doing a multiplication of this A and B, this is simply like this. So example is for you, work done. See, work done is a formula. See, work done W is equal to force vector into small displacement ds, or s also we can take. So when you are, suppose there is an object here, okay, when you are applying a force on this F, okay, and if this is moving for a distance, assume this is ds in the direction of, this is called displacement, ds is the displacement. So this is also in the same direction of F. So then this becomes the dot product, F dot S. So work done is equal to F dot S, because see, in this picture, if you are drawing, this is A and this is, suppose you make it bigger, B. Okay, you can project this is an angle theta. Not this is not necessary that every time this will projected onto this. You can project this guy on this also. So A is projected on this is A cos theta on this one and to B. So but the resultant will be same. This is called A dot B. So that means whether you project B on A or A on B, the resultant of the magnitude will be similar. That means irrespective of direction, dot product remains the same. That means A dot B is equal to B dot A. So that's why the resultant is a scalar quantity, as is not depending on any direction. That's why this is called a scalar product or dot product. So here also the two vector quantities force. This force is making this object to move to a displacement of delta S or ds. So the ds is again a vector quantity. So when both are multiplied, we get a scalar quantity. That's why, because here you can see, as this is independent of, see, the magnitude of these two is independent of direction of force, direction of application. So these both are called as scalar quantity. So that's why A dot B dot is equal to A magnitude times B magnitude into cos theta, and this is also equivalent to B dot A. So this will not change. That's why this is a scalar quantity. That's why I differentiate 2. So this again you can write it down as C. So when this is again when you know what is the angle between them. Suppose you don't know angle, so also you can write A is a vector. So that is, you can split into a individual components like this AY, J and AZ K, right? And B vector is again written as BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. So these are the components of this vector in x, y and z directions. Similar for B. So if you are writing A dot B, that is equal to AX I plus BAYJ plus AZK into BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. So what happens? So finally we will write it down AX into BX, okay, 1 into I. Okay, these two vectors. Similarly AX into BY into I into J. This again one. This is 1 and this is 1. Similarly AX into BZ, AX into BZ into I into Z. So let's solve this. AX into BX, okay. I into I. This is unit vector, this is unit vector. So I dot I is as per this, you can write in a small this one. I dot I is equal to I magnitude cos theta. As they are same unit vectors, the angle between them is 0. So when cos theta is 0 means that is equal to cos theta is equal to 0 means cos theta is equal to 1. This is equal to, then this is equal to 1. That means I into I is equal to 1. So here I into I is 1. So plus I into J is again, these are all two perpendicular vectors, J and I. The angle is 90 degrees. So cos theta 90 is 0. So this becomes 0 as well as this becomes 0 because I and Z are again perpendicular to each other, 90 degrees. So we are left with only AX and BX. Similarly, AY and BY. AY and BY is J into J, because J into J is 1, other factors will be 0. And similarly AZ and BZ, because here also K into K will be 1, other than that it will be 0. So in the component fashion, A dot B is equal to Ax Bx Ay By. So this is a scalar quantity. It doesn't. So there are no vectors. So this is a scalar quantity, right? So again A dot. So we also know that this A dot B is also equal to A dot B. Vector A and vector B is equal to A into cos theta. So this is again equal to Ax Bx plus Ay By plus Az and Bz. So to find cos theta is Ax Bx plus Ay Ey plus Az and Bz divided by A magnitude by B magnitude. So when you don't know any theta between these two vectors A and B, this will suffice. This will be sufficient to find out what is the angle between them. So the angle between two vectors can be known by this formula. This is independent user. We should know the components of each vector as well as the magnitude. So this is how we form. So for example, we take an example such that this will help us. So we have vector A which is equal to 5y minus 2j plus 4k, and B vector 3i plus j plus 7k. So we have to find the angle between these two. Find angle between these two vectors. How? So we know that A is equal to Ax I plus Ayj plus Azk. So here if we are comparing these two, so Ax is equal to 5, right? And Ay is equal to minus 2 and Az is equal to 4. Similarly for B, Bx I plus Byj plus Bzk. So here Bx, By and Bz. So there is no value, means this is 1 here. So Bx is equal to 3 and By is equal to 1 and Bz is equal to 7. To find out the angle cos theta, what you have to do? Ax from here, this formula, Ax Bx Ay By Az Bz. So we have to substitute in this one. So how do you do that? To find Ax, this is 5 into 3, this one and this one, Ay By, right, minus 2 into 1, so A by B, Bz Az plus 7 into 4 divided by A magnitude and B magnitude independently. That is equal to A magnitude is pi square minus 2 whole square plus 4 square. This is A magnitude, and B magnitude is 3 square plus 1 square plus 7 square. This is equivalent to almost like 41 by root 45 into root 59. Right. So this is the angle. So theta will be 41 by root of 45 into 49, 59. So you have to find it here. You have to simplify this equation. You will get the answer. The angle here is almost, it is equivalent to like 37.3 degrees. So the angle between these two vectors, what we have found, is 37 degrees almost. So So the next operation of vectors is called cross product, or also called as vector product. So when there are two vectors A and B acting on an object with an angle theta in between them, as you seen in the diagram. Here A is vector A and this is vector B, and the angle is theta. Between them, the resultant vector, if the direction perpendicular to these two, then this is called as a cross product of vectors. So it is written as A cross B is magnitude of A into magnitude of B sin theta. Actually, in the previous dot product, the resultant is not perpendicular to these two vectors. It is parallel to these two vectors or one of the vectors. So in that case, we got as a dot product. But here, when in the cross product, the resultant will be perpendicular to both vectors. So the resultant is again a vector, it is not a scalar quantity. And that's because vector depends on direction. That means A cross B is not equal to minus B cross A here. So vector quantity changes magnitude depends on the magnitude, but not here direction also. So here we see that both are perpendicular to the resultant vector here. And we will see how we will find this. Okay. So here we see about the cross product, geometrical interpretation of this. So there are two vectors A and B drawn like this with an angle between them theta. So the resultant vector will be perpendicular to these two vectors. That means it is perpendicular to A as well as perpendicular to B. That means it is projecting out of the plane. Suppose there is a plane like this, a table. Suppose you assume there is a table like this with four table. So if there are two vectors like this on this table, A and B, and C vector will be projecting out of this table. Then the C vector will be, this is perpendicular to both, this is coming out of the table, and this is equal to cross of A cross B magnitude. And so geometrically, when you are interpreting this value of A cross B, geometrically, if you see, the value of A cross B will be equal to the area of parallelogram formed out of these two, A as well as B, as a sides of this parallelogram. So we can find that if this is theta and this horizontal is, area parallelogram is one side by the height, altitude. So this altitude is equal to B sin theta. So the area is equal to A into B sin theta. So this is A cross B of the two vectors, right? And the direction is perpendicular to both. And one you have to think that if you are crossing B cross A, this is not equal to A cross B, because see, when you are changing this direction, this will go down automatically. Suppose you are changing the multiplication B into A, the direction of C will go down. So this is negative. So this is equal to minus B cross A. So this is not commutative. So in order to find the direction of C vector, we follow right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule. So if you want to know what is the right hand thumb rule, I will show it here. If you see here, this is the right hand, and this is thumb and the index finger and the middle finger. So this index finger is showing one other vector, and this B is shown by other vector. The angle between is known. So the resultant vector will be in this direction of the thumb. So this is what is called the right hand thumb rule. So if we interchange these directions, when B into A, the thumb C becomes negative. This goes down. We have to invert the thumb. So that's why it's called the right hand thumb rule. Invert thumb means you have to try with your own hands. You are saying like this by A and this B, and if you want to change B minus side, suppose you want to show B the other side, you have to invert the whole hand, so that then what happens, this thumb also will be going down. So the result vector also will be in the opposite direction. So it is what it meant. So BA cross B, that's why not equal to B cross A. So in this Examples of cross product, we'll take one example called applying application of torque. So application of torque comes especially on screws. Application of torque. So we are very familiar with screws and screw, and it is having some this screw. Imagine you are applying a screwdriver here. Okay, you are applying a force like this. You are screwing it. Okay. So similarly, so if you think this is the diameter of the screw, right? This is the diameter of the screw, and this is R of the screw, radius of the screw. So you are applying a force here, like this R. So then screw is rotating like this. So the screw will either go up or go down, depending on the rotation, the way you rotate, whether you're rotating clockwise direction, rotating clockwise direction or rotating anti-clockwise direction. If you're rotating clockwise direction, it will come up. If you're rotating anti-clockwise, it will go down, or the vice versa, whatever it is. That means the resultant vector is coming out of this. It is out of this plane. So that is here. Suppose you see, this is a vector. This is a position vector R, and from the edge of this vector where the force is applied, as you know, this is force vector. So then the resultant of vector will be coming out of plane. See, if we say this is whatever seeing, screen is the plane, it will come out of the screen. So that means when it will directly come onto the face, there is a vector. So suppose now we are shifting this. So this is, you can shift it into the origin side. So these two vectors, so this becomes the torque. So this is acting out of the plane of the two vectors. Suppose this R and F are lying in same plane. So now from here, torque will be a vector which is coming out of the plane. That means it will come out of your screen. That is called torque vector. So torque is radius into force. Especially we come to know this in a, suppose you have a screw and the screw length is like this. Sorry, this is my drawing is very bad. So if you know the screw, right, like this. Okay, so when you are rotating this, it will go into upper form. So this is when you are rotating, this is the application of force, and torque will be acting out or bottom. So this is the torque. So this is the application of the cross product. So cross product can also be represented like in the form of what do you call factor component format. Like, see, in the earlier we have seen A is equal to AX plus AY J and BIJ. Similarly, there is other component like BX into I plus BYJ. Okay, when you are writing A cross B, that is equal to what? AX I plus AYJ into BXI plus BYJ. Right? So when you are multiplying these two, what happens? AX into BX, right? I cross I is cross each other. These are magnitude, so there is no issue. So these are vectors. These two are vectors. Plus, similarly, I into J, AX into BY, I cross J. So first we will solve this first with A. I cross J, suppose when you are saying I cross equal to what? I magnitude sine theta, right? So these two are unit vectors. As these two are same vectors, the angle between them will be 0. That means sine theta is 0 means 0. That means it is equal to I cross I is equal to 0. That means this quantity will be 0. But I cross J, we see what I go. I cross J is equal to I magnitude J magnitude sine theta. This is equal to theta is equal to 90 here, because these two are perpendicular to each other. That is equal to ij, I into j, that is equal to 1, because these two are 1 1 unit vectors. So that is equal to ax ay, right? And this represented by k vector, right? If two are perpendicular vectors, there is a third vector. Similarly, other case is, if you are mind, b cross I will come. That is equal to b y into ax, right? Is opposite. So let's forget here. We will also find a better easy way to do this. So suppose as a component vector, if a cross b is equal to this independent component vector a cross I plus ay cross j into cross b xi plus byj. So this we can write it as c component ci and cyj. So this is equal to some resultant vector. So this resultant vector can be written down like this, and this is 2 is called determinant matrix ax ay bx by, right? So this is how this is 2D matrix. Suppose if we are going for a 3D matrix, then 3D matrix is written as C. Suppose it means we are taking all components of D dimensions. C is equal to I, J, K, and this is Ax, Ay, and Az, and this is Bx, By, and Bz. This is the format. So in order to find that is equal to I, when I am taking I as this thing, you take I so I, when you are taking I as this thing, you have to multiply I into these two. And this two is Ay Bz minus Az By. Similarly, plus minus Ij into, you have to forget this column. You have to multiply this Ax into Bz. Ax Bz minus Az Bx plus K. When you are taking K, you have to forget K column. You have to do this too. It is Ax By minus Ay Bx. So this is the resultant vector when you are cross producting two vectors in a component format. So one example we found, this is a simple example for dot product. So this is a work done. We have defined the work done is a particle is displacing by a vector s is equal to this much under force F is equal to this much newtons. So we know work done is equal to, work done is F dot vector into F dot s. So here F dot s is 4i plus 2j minus k newtons into s is 2i minus j plus 5k. So directly we can multiply 4 into 2 is 4 into 2i I dot I. In dot product, see I dot I is cos theta. So cos theta 0 means 1. So this value. So other things are not. So directly you can multiply 2 into minus 1 for this j. Okay. J dot j plus minus 1 into 5. That is k dot k. This is a dot product. See, this is a dot product. In dot product, we know that I dot I is equal to 1, j dot j is equal to 1, and k dot k is also equal to 1. But other things like I dot j or I dot k are equal to 0. So we are not multiplying other terms. This is a dot 1 plus minus 2 into 1 is j, and this is minus 5 into 1. This is equal to how much? A minus 7. That is equal to 1 joule or 1 Newton meter, because this is in newtons and this is in meters. So 1 Newton meter is equal to 1 joule. This is a unit for work done. Right. We'll see the next example. So it is given that there is a force acting on a body to rotate about a point O. Let R be the position vector at any point P on the line of action of force. Then what is the torque? So they are given what is the force and what, so it is something like this. Okay, in a coordinate axis, this is O, and this is the position vector point P, R. Okay, and there is a force acting at this point. Sorry. So this is the position vector R from the point O to P, and this here there is a line of action. Force is acting here. So we have defined what is the torque. So as you know, torque is equal to R cross F. So this is a cross product because the resultant vector is a vector, and the direction is perpendicular to both this R and F. So this is the line of action of force. Is try to rotate about point O. This force is called as a torque force, and we know that from torque is a vector quantity and is equal to, you can write in a determinate format, I, j and k. So this is first is R relative 1, R1, because R vector is here 1. Next is minus 1j, and this is plus 6. Similarly, this F is 2, F is 2, 3 and minus 1. So this is a determinant matrix. So as you know, it is equivalent to I into minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1 minus is 6 to 3, 18, right? Minus j into minus 1 plus 1 is minus 1 minus is 2, 6 into 2, 12, plus k into 3 into 1 is 3 minus, this is minus of minus 2, right? So that is equal to minus 17 I minus to minus plus, this is 13j and plus 5k. So this is the torque vector, minus 17I plus 13j plus 5k. Okay. Suppose now we want to find what is the angle between these two vectors, that is R and force, then you can do like this. So we know that R cross F is equal to R magnitude F magnitude sin theta. This is cross product. So sin theta is equal to R cross F magnitude by individual magnitudes. So what is the cross product magnitude here? So already got this process from 17 square minus whole square plus 13 whole square plus 5 whole square, right? Divided by, now we have to find the individual R and F magnitudes. So we know that from here this is R, no? So that is 1 square square plus minus 1 square plus 6 square. This is one. Another one is 2 square plus 3 square plus minus 1 whole square. So if we solve this one, this is equal to, so here we can find this is the magnitude 483 for upper numerator and this is denominator. So yes, this is the value. So this is sin theta, that means angle between R and F. This is how we will find the angle between two vectors if theta is not given, right? And we'll come to a last topic called properties of vector operations. So some of the properties we'll already seen. Actually the dot product properties are a dot b is equal to b dot a, because it's a scalar value, so it doesn't matter whether it's not depending on a direction. Similarly, it's called as a commutative property, the scalar quantity. Similarly, we have a dot b plus c is equal to ab plus ac is a distributive law. So this holds good for dot product as well as cross product also. A dot b, when you are dot producting two vectors a b, the maximum value is equal to ab when both vectors are parallel. So we get the other conditions where theta is not 0 degrees, we have less value than a into b. So this is have identity property, like and a dot b is equal to its own a square times. Then coming to cross product a cross b is equal to minus b into a. That means they are not equal to a cross b into b cross a. That is negative b is equal to and the property is a vector. Similarly, it's a distributive law, as you seen, a cross b plus b cross c is equal to this one. These properties are helpful solving the problem. Similarly, when you are saying about a maximum value for a cross b, sorry, this is a cross b here. Maximum value is ab when theta is 90 degrees. That means when two vectors are perpendicular, ab, then this vector is vector c is maximum. That means this is perpendicular to both. And identity itself, see here the identity matrix is 0. Identity a cross c, again this is a cross a cross a is 0, is not 1, as here a cross a is itself is a 2 times. So these are the few vectors. So if you have any doubts in this vector, so finally if you are having any doubts with respect to any of the concepts, you can comment on the section and I will clear your concept as fast as possible. So it can be any problems, or as well as it can be any topic if you don't understand, I will clear here. So this ends the vector concept. So in the next video I will present the next chapter. Okay, so until then, goodbye.